I welcome to the Augmentation of Man. I'm Renee Miller,
Can't, I think.
and today we're going to be talking about the conjunction of Neptune and how the planet it's starting to align with the outer planets, and that what that is going to mean,
And
which is
you got to get this time now is to connect with your higher self.
yeah, and this is a very exciting time
Yeah,
in that this conjunction allows us to connect with a higher self and allows us to connect with the knowledge that's
those,
stored in the soul and universal
yeah, those
consciousness.
who want to connect with the
Mhm.
higher self to gain understanding. And I say want, really want to.
Yeah, and we will get
Okay.
into that. First of all, we want to update you. Kent had a valve replacement, heart valve replacement. And it was through a new procedure, relatively new, called a transcatheter arterial valve replacement.
The local plumbing shop sells those.
And so far it's been successful. They go through an artery in the groin, femoral artery, and feed a catheter up into the heart. They go through the other artery and feed another catheter that has a balloon on it. And this new bovine valve is attached to this metal mesh like a stent. And so the balloon will blow it up and it basically goes from compressed down to open like that, smashes open right over the top of the biological valve that's bad. And it just stays in place. And then in the middle, they've attached the bovine valve to it. So it just stays there sitting on top of and smashing the old valve away from
Yeah.
the center.
So it makes me feel like a new ball. All right. Let's let's go.
Yeah. So he's doing pretty good. He had some dizziness. He's had some dizziness off and on, but it might be due to allergies, but otherwise
Okay.
doing really well. So anyway, let's get down to business. And that is the conjunction of Neptune with these outer planets and how it relates to connecting with a higher self.
Yeah. So first of all, in March of 2024, we released a video about Neptune and the higher self. That there would be a time coming soon where the planetary alignment would create a window of opportunity for humanity to reconnect with the higher self. That part of the soul that directs our learning process, both on a soul level and on a physical level.
So the soul is kind of has it's a little bit compartmentalized, and the higher self is a part of the soul, but it is what is playing in the background, helping us to um, sense where to go,
Yeah.
decisions to make that keep us on our path of what we wanted to come here to experience in the first place, or do, or learn. That's why we're here, is all about the learning.
So the message was that Neptune had come into this position, okay, but was waiting for the alignment of the outer planets to be activated.
Mhm.
There would be a development of high energy drama, turmoil, and chaos in order to open the parameters that coincides with the conjunction of Neptune with these outer planets.
So it was at that time when we released that first video back in 2024, I think it was March, that Neptune had arrived, but was waiting for the outer planets to come into position to create the right conditions astrologically, energetically, for this opportunity, because Neptune as our guides described it, is a planet of understanding. It
That's
sits,
true.
the way that they described it is it sits in the eighth house of understanding.
So it's a very important planet.
We are not astrologers, so
So
we rely on other people like our friend Carol to help us decipher some of this.
so it has to be time when we don't believe anything. And that has arrived.
And the
Yet,
turmoil
right,
and the
and
chaos.
yet want to know the real truth. Most of us want to know the real truth. It has to be at a time when people want the luminescence of understanding.
And that's the way that our guides described it, the luminescence of
That's
understanding.
right.
So we have to come to this point where we're really confused. There's a lot of turmoil, there's a lot of competing agendas. We don't know what's the truth, but at the same time, we've become skeptical of everything.
Yes,
We don't believe in anything.
right. We don't know who to believe or what to believe or
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
And this creates an opportunity for us to open up to the truth, but it requires our participation. So we'll go into that.
And a real wanting to know.
Yeah, we have to have that deep desire to dig, to put the work into trying to find the truth.
So Neptune is a cursor of knowledge for all to begin. Who wants understanding? We have to want to know what the truth is. The caveat is that we have to become the neutral observers, and we've talked about this before, in order to see the real truth. We have to want the understanding, but we have to open our minds because nothing is as we see it currently. How have we been taught to perceive our environment and all the events taking place? How can we look at it with a new lens?
I think part of that is we have to understand our own biases, right?
Yes.
And where those biases came from, how we were taught, the experiences that we have been through, how we've bought into ideologies and belief systems.
We bought into someone else's truth, not to our truth or what we want to find, but we tend to believe all these other so-called, and I put the word so-called in quotes, experts.
Yeah, that because we put our faith in like our spiritual leaders. Well, they went to seminary, they went to, they learned about the Bible or they learned about the Quran or whatever. We put so much faith in these spiritual leaders. We put so much faith in
all leaders.
scientists, teachers, because we look at them as the authority on these topics, right? But if you look at life as this is an onion and we're just peeling back one layer at a time, getting to the next deepest layer, the next deepest layer, we will never have the full truth of anything. And we have to humble ourselves to that fact that at our level, humanity is at the lowest level of understanding in all the universes. And we're just kindergartners in the universe of knowledge.
That's right.
And so when we understand that, we just have to realize we can never accept anything as the whole truth, that there's always more to it. So keep digging, keep peeling back those layers of the onion until we get to the core of things.
Yeah. So how can we access this understanding? And we've been asked by many people, how do we get this understanding?
Because it's so
That's
confusing.
right.
There's so many competing agendas out there and so many biases and ideologies that we're fighting against to find the
Yeah.
truth.
So first we must understand our higher self. And that takes some deep thought. some deep meditation there or deep thinking. Who are you?
Mhm.
You know, you got to find out who you
We
really
have to
are.
really go within.
Yes. So
Mhm.
we must pull away from what we are being told is truth and begin to turn inward.
Mhm.
The true feelings of within ourselves. So listen for the inner voice. Don't talk over it, but listen.
Mhm.
And sometimes it'll bring you back. You'll say, well, I don't remember thinking of that. You know, it doesn't fit with your parameter. So
It's something, it's like a thought comes in.
that you didn't.
And for me, a lot of times I'm thinking about a completely different subject. And all of a sudden I notice there's there's this language, this thought process going on in the background. And this is what we need to be paying attention to
So,
is try to clear the mind of the chatter and listen to the thoughts that are not your thoughts.
and what she's saying is the words and sentences that come to your mind like a thought you didn't think.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
That's the inner self trying to come through. You have to listen to what the inner self says.
Because it sheds light on things. It's, um, we have the way it was described to us is the soul is the storehouse of all the experiences and the knowledge we have gained over many, many, many lifetimes and in between lifetimes, because the gift of life is all about the learning that comes with it.
Yeah.
And so we are here to learn. And for listening to the higher self is helping us direct what we came here to learn in this particular lifetime. And then as we learn, we're adding to that trove of knowledge that is stored at the soul level.
So there are, as you know, there are many competing agendas to control our perceptions today. The media is looking for the emotional response, increasing their viewership, which increases the many ads that they sell, is how they make the money. So how can we find the truth? Bring calm within. You have to bring calm within yourself. How can we watch the theater without being sucked into it? Watch it as an observer, neutral again. Understand that when the lesson is learned, we will make the different choices then, changing our world. So, what is the lesson?
Yeah, so what we do is we pull ourselves back, don't get sucked in emotionally about these things. The only way we can change things is when the majority of the population learns the lesson.
And the majority being over 50%.
Right. And it may be higher than that.
Yeah, but at
However,
least half of the population.
we need to have enough people learning the lesson. But that being said, is people will only acknowledge the truth when they're ready to see it. It could be staring
Yeah.
right at them. You could tell them over and over until you're blue in the face, but they're not going to acknowledge it until they are ready. So we can't force it on people.
We can only
You
pass
can,
this on and tell them this is how it's done, and they will not do it until they are ready.
yeah. So we can't harp about it, but we can suggest, kind of try to shine the light on it without being too pushy.
Yes.
It's when we get pushy, people push back. And so that's kind of counterproductive.
So they told us to tune into your gut feelings and listen to your gut feelings. And we talk to people and say, gee, I knew I shouldn't have made that decision. I had a gut feeling I shouldn't have made that decision. Well, that's telling you.
Mhm.
Okay. Tune into your urges and feelings that well up within you and follow that direction. Again, it's within you. Tune into the feelings of knowingness. get out in nature, because the natural world vibrates at a higher level and you can use it to tune to a higher vibration. No one can receive the higher understanding. So we've talked about this in many videos
You mean
before. Getting
the
out into nature,
that's how we attune to a higher
right?
understanding because
Creating
we
calmness around us.
calm, raise your vibration by being out in nature, and then you can more easily connect to that
Right, because you
higher
stay within
understanding.
the self, you stay within the city and the low vibration, the chaos, etc. going on. You'll never reach that higher.
And what you're talking about is another lesson that we had received, and that was in the cities, there's such a lack of nature, and nature vibrates at a higher level. What you have is a lot of cement, asphalt, things like this,
Emotion. Cities are based on emotion.
and all the emotion of the people is actually reflecting off of these structures that we've created, the cement, the stucco, all these buildings that we've created are just um, reverberating with this lower level emotion. So if you get out in nature, it helps to rebalance you.
Yes.
And so it's good to take that time if you can get to a park, or at least have a little place in close to where you live that
calmness.
Right, you have some plants maybe in pots and things like that.
Observe what is going on in the world as if you're looking through it through a cloud of glass. So you're the observer, looking for the connections. What are we here to learn, you ask? Do your own homework. We've said this over and over. You have to do your own homework. Dig deeper. Don't chase the clicks.
That's the problem today, is that everybody is on Instagram and TikTok, and they're getting their news off of this. And they're 30-second click.
No one thinks for themselves anymore.
And well, it's a part
They're
of
part of the emotional system that is setting them up.
right. But what happens is that these these people who have the channel, they're only putting forward part of the event. So they have a small video of what happened, and it does not portray the entirety of what happened. So we need to go back to the original video that's longer to see the entirety. Who said what leading up to what is being portrayed, because it's not the whole thing.
Yeah. And I can say, if you can't necessarily get out in the forest or something, so try and meditate to bring calmness within yourself. So ask the higher self to step forward to teach and guide you. Accept the higher self. Understand the soul is a reservoir of greater understanding and wisdom that can be accessed through the higher self. Respect the higher learning.
And that's a big thing right there. Respect the higher learning, because at least I think when we were growing up, it was this you had to be cool, right?
Yeah.
And so everything has been downgraded to, you had to be cool and not the nerd.
Yeah.
You had to be it was more admirable to not have the knowledge and the understanding, but to have this perceived persona.
Yes.
And it has not done well. And in fact, if you go back to like the original papers that our founding fathers wrote, you can't hardly understand the language. It has degraded that much in 250 years.
Yeah.
Right?
The language has totally changed.
our language has become so oversimplified
Well,
that we don't even understand the true meaning of the words
yeah,
that we're
the
using.
language didn't change. We changed the
Yes.
language to meet the meaning that we want
Mhm.
it to be, and not what it originally
Or
meant to
something
be.
that
It satisfies us.
yeah, puts us in a certain persona that we want
Yeah.
to portray. So the language we use is part of how we want to portray
Yeah.
ourselves. And so we have to get back to understanding, truly understanding our language and the totality of the definitions for a particular word. That's another thing, is we tend to understand only one definition of the words that we use. But when you look in the dictionary, there may be a plethora of definitions
Yes.
that can be used under the context of that
Yeah.
word.
So we feel now is the time where Neptune is now. Neptune is in place and conjuncting with the outer planets. So it's not just happening today, it's going to happen.
It's moving into it.
Moving into it, that's
Mhm.
right. Now it is the time for us to step into our new role. For those that want to,
Mhm.
okay, tapping into the ancient knowledge we have stored in our souls and ushering in a new world of higher learning and higher vibration through a greater understanding.
And these will be the people that will shift our world into the next cycle.
That's right.
These are the people that are going to be the shakers and the movers. They are going to be the ones who set the stage for this new cycle of higher
The
learning.
key is that you have to want it.
Right.
You have to want it. So
It won't happen if you don't have it within you
and
to do
then
it.
we have to act on it.
Mhm.
And then we have to accept it.
Yeah, and acceptance is a big thing, especially
Yeah.
when you talk about, hearing the voices within. We've been taught not to because you're schizophrenic, right? There's this
Yeah.
stigma. So anytime that they attach a stigma to something, why is that? Are they trying to keep us from this ancient knowledge?
Don't listen to everything that Sigmund Freud said. Because you'll be put in the wrong direction and the wrong understanding.
Yeah, so we do have to think for ourselves, and now is the time to step forward, reclaim your sovereignty, and do what you know in your heart is right for you and where you need to go without stigma attached. Be proud of being a part of the new cycle and bringing forth the new learning and the new understanding and the new direction that this earth is taking.
Yeah. So with that, we hope that you understand what we just got through saying. Now is the time to begin to accept what is coming, to get involved with it, and to accept what you receive.
Mhm.
Okay.
And always dig deeper.
Yeah. And you have to do your research again over and over.
Mhm. If you want to know more, we have 2 books on Amazon under the Augmentation of Man. It is, we're not the authors. We published this book based on the lessons that we received through these channelings. The ancients and professors of higher realms of understanding are the authors. And this one is The Acquiescence of Humanity. And it is talks about the extraterrestrial presence and where humanity is going, things that predictions, things that are happening, why it's happening, science, what the role is of the sun in all of this, our genetic upgrade, atmospheric changes, just a plethora of information. And it's
The
in the
beginning.
original language that it was dictated to us.
Yeah, the beginning information. This is not all the information. This is just the very beginning.
Mhm. And we have it at the lowest price available. So it's like $19.99 on Amazon. And then the other one is A Study in Renaissance. That is about basic spiritual principles, but
Yeah.
also predictions for the future.
So with that, I want to say thank you for joining us. May your heart be in the right place.
Mhm. We have some exciting times upon us.
Yes.
And you just talk to the astrologers, and they're all excited. They're all excited. They see what's coming. So that means we can get excited too.
Okay.
Things are about to change for the good. Thank you for joining us. Peace be with you on your journey to enlightenment, and have a wonderful week. Thank you.